Hi guys, today I want to give you a view of how this planner is looking. I want to share as well how I've been using this planner in our homeschool and how I am just every time adding something to this planner to help me out when it comes to plan our week for our homeschool. I will see you then. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emma. In here I like to talk anything that has to do with homeschool, sprinkle a little bit of motherhood and life talk here and there. Today I want to bring you with me to share with you how this planner is been looking. If you notice the last time this planner didn't have the tabs, it's getting a little bit scratched already, I can see that. But it didn't have the tabs. I divided by attendance tracker, monthly plan, weekly plan schedule. And I just want to give you an idea on how you can work with this planner. I have already been doing some changes and adding some color here and there, but I still have to do some changes. I am still using this planner here at home, and it's been helpful because it has more space compared to the planner that I am using when we do car schooling, which is a simple plan by Mardell. I am using the student planner, and even though it has a good amount of space, I still find that having this one is been helping me as well, because I am going to be using this one more as a presentation at the end of our homeschool year. This will serve us as presentation, if you want me to be honest, but it's been working very well with me. So I will just start sharing with you and showing you how this planner is going to be working with me. Okay, so let's just look inside the planner. So here you can see the first page of the planner. In here I have our mission, as well I have our vision and goals on this side of the page. I am not going to point so much at this because I think you should create your own. In here we have the days marked that we're going to have for holidays, and this is something that I started doing in here, which it was marking the days that we were doing homeschooling, because I forgot that I have a page in here for that, but I will show you in a second. So I have in here the holidays that we're going to be having off, and in here will be for field trips. If you notice in here, I haven't marked anything yet. I haven't planned for any field trips because I still have field trips that were supposed to be for this past year, at the end of this past year, and we were not able to complete that. And I don't want to keep adding field trips in here if I am not even completing the ones that I set myself to have for that past year that we just finished. So I have this blank, but eventually this will have obviously some days in there. So this I use for meal plan, and it's been working like that for me. I like to use this page. I just erase, if you notice, is in pencil, so that's how it will stay. I will not change this. I actually liked it this way. And in here I have the attendance, and this is where we're supposed to mark actually the days that we are taking homeschool, that we're doing homeschool. If you notice, we are about to complete this second month, and it's been working very well. We had some hiccups, obviously. I had some doctor's appointments. My son had some doctor's appointments as well. So it's been creating a few hiccups here and there. And what we do is that we use the Friday not only for our Fun Friday, but as well to just try to get on some of those materials, because I don't like to let him pass a lot of days without doing anything, because what happens is that then he just start getting confused with some of the materials, or he forgets some of the materials. So I am trying to keep myself in a way that he can just keep the information that he's learning fresh. Okay, so if you notice in here, I added tab, and these tabs are quite huge, and that's the reason why I just add 3. And if you notice, I put it in key places, the sections that I use of the planner most often. That's what I did. So that's the reason why you see just 3 tabs. So in here we continue with the classes. We haven't taken any of the classes yet. We have in here curriculum overview. We have reading, grammar, spelling, writing, and when you can see the price in here of what we have spent in here, I have to add that price. Here you have math, science, history, geography, handwriting, and Spanish. I am just stating in here what I am expecting from my kid to learn, but it's nothing certain, obviously, because you have to be looking if your child is progressing with the material, if they're enjoying the material. Well, there's a lot of things that you have to be aware of, that you have to be looking for. So that is the reason I just have it in here as a way to have like something that I can just look at and just refer to and see where we are at. Okay, we continue passing the page. I have other pages blank. So in here I have the book list, and we haven't done that much for reading because we are still continuing doing Chasing Henry. Actually, this is from All About Reading. He's about to finish that book already. He has just one more story. And for history, he has History Alive, A Story of the World. We've been using Pedro's journal. We have been using another book that I have to add in here. For science, we're doing Bees and Wasp. We are using Buzzy Bees. We are using the Box Encyclopedia. And if you notice, I section this area of the book list because we have a lot of space. I just have one kid, so I still have a space in here to be adding. So here I have reading, history, science, ecosystem, which is another unit that I am planning on doing, as well as a Spanish. The book that we're using is Libros de Cuentos y Rimas. And that is a book that has just a few stories in Spanish, and we've been enjoying this book. I have that book for a while already. It's very colorful, so I recommend that book. Here I have the book that he's doing independently, which is Good Dog. And this book, we have a series of this book. This is the last one I think that we're doing for this series, and we're very happy. He's been learning a lot, and he's been just having a good time reading. It's about dogs, and he likes pets, and that's a good book that I recommend because it's simple. It has a big print, and I think that if your kid is starting to read, that's a good book to have. Here we're reading as a read aloud. I am reading to my kid is Pax. That's one of the books that we have enjoyed lately, that we have loved and liked. So I am reading that book right now, and we are about to finish Pax. I am not quite sure what we're going to be doing after that because we have a few set of books in here that we have to read. But eventually you will see that this will get longer with the books that we are reading. I have Pax here, and if you notice, it's just divided because I want to have separate what he's reading independently and what I am reading to him. So that is the reason why you see everything separate. Next one is the curriculum progress. So here I have a spelling. We are on step 9. I forgot to mark that, but I have to mark it right here. And we have reading that we are on 26. I have to mark as well. Grammar, we continue. We are going to be on week 8. I have to mark that. For math, we are in the week that we are right now, which is 51. So that's good right there. For writing, I am going slow. We are touching lesson 2. So that's something that will take time because I am having him doing a report. So that's very important. History, we are doing America's Story and the Story of the World. So here I am marking America's Story, and we are on chapter 5. We have geography. We continue on lesson 1 because we are doing a report. We have science, which is the units. I am marking these as lessons, but reality is it's just a unit. So I am not quite sure if I am going to be eventually using these. Art, we haven't done anything in a specific for art. Reading, this is level 4 when we start level 4, so I have it there. In here, I just decide to create this section as trying this month wins and trying new things. I add in here that we are using YouTube videos for History of America. We are using as well that we try for this month of August, audiobooks, as well as learning the abbreviations and symbols. That's something that I have talked about here on my YouTube. If you want to see that video, you can check it out. I am using All Things Fun and Fascinating, and I am just stating in that video why am I adding the abbreviations and symbols and how is this useful. So if you want to check that out, I suggest you to do it. We use the architecture book and the kit. That was very great, and that's something that I am very happy. So I added here as a new thing that we try. And in here, this month wins is that we start our homeschool with a great attitude and consistency. We add some homeschool games as well. Our schedule and daily rhythm is been working well as well. Writing is something that is working great for us as well. Doing the keyword outline and doing work independently and practice typing. That's something that we have added and it's been working very well for us. Time for fun is something that I add for August because we've been having fun as well. We learned the abbreviations and symbols. He learned already some of them. We are obviously going to continue. I am always adding a symbol for him to learn. Using our planners, we've been doing that very well. So I add that as a win for our month of August because it was when we start our homeschool, it was on August 1. As well, the creation of materials and great time for management. I add that as a win. And this is how I've been using this side of the planner. I just add kind of like the daily rhythm of our days. So I have it in here in a specific for each day. As well, I add in here if we have a doctor appointment or if we have a holiday that we would like to study or celebrate. So I add it in there. Here I have again our try new things and this month wins. We are in this month currently, so I have here September. What I did, and I noticed to make it work for me, I do like to use the highlighters to mark the holidays and celebrations that we want to pay attention to or that we want to study. So what I did is I add pencil, because if you use the highlighters alone, it will just go, you will see it on the back. But if you add pencil first, almost the same color as the highlighter, so I add the pencil on top of whatever it is, and then I pass with the highlighter, and then you see that it doesn't show as much on the back of the page. It may be a little bit, and because I forgot to put a little bit of pencil there, but if not, you won't see anything. And that's how I've been making it work for me. I add as well in here the weeks. That's something that is very important. If you have multiple kids, you can use this space to plan as well, because you have the days in here, the days of the week. You have as well a space in here. I know there's people that said that there's not enough space, but I consider that if you write small, you will be able to fit something in here, or you can divide as well. So that's very important to know. So in here, the rest of the months, obviously, because we haven't gone through it, is blank. So let me just show you now how I've been using this side of the planner. So here I have this week's highlights as well as weekly goals and notes. In here I am using this side for the goals that I want for this week, or the notes that I need to remember for this specific week. And once I am reaching those goals, or I am able to complete anything in this list, what I do is I put a check mark, and the ones that I don't complete, I will move to the next week, and I know I have to do them the next week. If you hear a noise, those are my neighbors. I can't do anything about that. Sorry about that. Here I am leaving this space because I am going to be adding pictures in this area, and that's why you see this washi tape in there. It's just marking the areas in which I want the pictures. But in here I have some so much fun learning while playing, so that's something that happened this week that I would like to highlight. As well, for science unit, we had a great time learning about bees. We really enjoyed the info, but the best part was the comparison of our vision against the butterfly, bees, and humans. So that's something that we enjoy, and I added there. Friday day game, we had a good time with our geography game. As well, in here I add our everyday schedule. Monday, different times apply because I have a different time at my work, and that is the reason why you see that this time it says in here that different times apply for Monday only. Okay, here I have a daily rhythm of how I do our subjects. So we start with Bible, we continue reading, spelling, writing, grammar, math, history, geography, science, handwriting, and Spanish. Obviously depends on the day. This is going to be changing. I don't give all the subjects every day. So let's say Monday I will be able to give Bible, reading, and writing, grammar. We do math, history, we do handwriting, and Spanish, something like that. But you will see it now. So I will be showing you the weekly plan. If you notice, what I did with this planner to work with this planner is that I wrote the days of the week on the top. In here I use this section for extra materials and websites. I hope you guys can see that well. I'm not quite sure if you're able to see it. Maybe the light. Let me see if I can just give you some light in here. I just noticed that. Sorry about that. I hope you guys can see that. And in here I add, with these little stickies, I add the days and the month because it gets a little bit confusing. So I add that there. And what I use is I use these file folder labels. I think I purchased these at Dollar Tree when it was $1, and I've been using them quite a lot. And I use these to just make holes, and it gets this little circle in here, and that's what I use to put the dates and the month. So here you can see that on the side I add the subjects. I have Bible, reading and spelling, this section in here, grammar and writing, math, history, geography, science, and elective, which will be Spanish. This section that I use here for extra materials and websites is when I add a YouTube video, or I add any type of game that is not really for our Friday fun, or if we add any type of books or materials. Let's say we are going to do a report or a project, we add there the materials that we're going to be needing, whether it's construction paper, laminated sheets, whatever we need will be on this side. Okay, so that's how I've been using this planner. Obviously, if you have multiple kids, then this side you can use it as well for one of the kids, or you can just divide and have a section for your kids. You can do it differently, maybe add each kid in here, and then in here you add the subjects. There's different ways that you can adapt this planner to be working if you have more than one kid. I have one kid, so it's plenty space in here for me, and sometimes I consider that I don't have enough space, and that's where you see that in here I have like 2 things at once right there, because I like to add everything with detail. So that is the reason why. But usually you don't need to put this much detail into a planner. I really just enjoying working with a planner. I really liked it. So that is the reason why you see me that I add sometimes stuff, I color, or I draw, or I add a lot of things to the planner, but that's not necessary. Okay, so here I have again the weekly goals and notes. If you have multiple kids as well, this area where it says this week, you can just cover this and just add the rest of the kids and just make a space in here. The good thing is that this is a dotted page, so it helps you as well if you're going to just divide in sections. Let's say you want to divide this section in 2, so you know right here, probably that'll be the middle, and you can just make sections and make it work for you. And that's a good idea, I think, if you have multiple kids. Again, the same thing, weekly plan. Another thing that will help you if you don't want to be adding those days in here is that you can add the week in here. If you notice, I add that little sticker in there. I use the same thing, these file folder labels, and I just cut the little circle give the little circle shape and then just add the week and the number of the week. This is week 2. And in here was week 1. And you can see that I added in here, just if you were wondering what was that number in there. It's just the week in which we're at. And I continue the same layout all the way until the week in which we're at right now. If you notice in here, I haven't add our everyday. I have to add, it's pretty much the same. Some days changed, and I would like to add this as well in here. But if you notice here, I am going to show you the week that we just passed here. So this week here, if you notice, we have a little bit of a hiccup because I have some appointments and other things that were not really planned. So what I did is, since we couldn't finish, if you notice this arrow in here pointing to this day, is because we couldn't do this day, and then I added this day, and once we reach it, then I just marked it as if we did it this day, even though we didn't. But I know that since we add the arrow, it means that we did it this day. Okay, so I hope that was helpful in some way, if you guys understood that. But what I am trying to say is that when we can't accomplish something any certain day, I am not getting frustrated. I am not going to be having him trying to complete everything that day if it was not possible. I just keep on moving until we are able to do it. Okay, here I have as well the extra materials and websites. If you notice in here, for his report, we add that we use Google for information as well, Pinterest images to create his report. And that's when we were doing our writing for all things fun and fascinating. He used Google to get some information and to just being able to find some pictures and coloring pages for his report. So we use Pinterest, and that's how I've been using the planner. Everything else is blank. Obviously, it's the same thing. So if you have multiple kids, I think there's a lot of benefit by using this planner. If you don't mind the fact that you are not able to use so much highlighters probably as you want, but you are able to adapt this planner because it's not dated. It doesn't have anything in here. You can just move things around. You can actually use more pages. Let's say you have multiple kids. You can put a certain amount of kids in here, and then you pass, and then you continue here. There's different ways to work with this planner. The lines are very wide, so you're able to accommodate more than one thing in one of the lines if you write small enough. So you're able to use this planner. So that's how I've been using this planner. That's how I've been able to just make sure that I have notes in here, that everything is together. I tend to write more in this planner with a little bit more detail because I have the space to do that. And I will show you later on some other things that I didn't show you now because I am completing them, but you will see that it'll be with a little bit more of detail. And this is the planner that I will use when we are about to give our portfolio. You know that at least in here in Florida, you have to sometimes show, at least in here in Florida, you know that you have sometimes to show the books that you're reading and all that information. So I think having it in here very well organized, with me taking a little bit more of calm while I am using this planner compared to this one. I am pretty much doing things in a hurry. I try to make sure that I have everything together fast because I just have to do everything at once pretty much. And yes, still you can see that I have things with detail in here. I marked everything. I highlight the days of the week. When we are going for the monthly pages, if we have a holiday, I highlight it with my highlights. And it's easier in this planner because this planner has thick pages. So in this one, you actually can use the highlighter and go crazy with the decorations if you want, because you are able to do this with this one. With this one, you have to hesitate a little bit when it comes to using the highlighters because it tends to you tend to see it on the other side of the page, on the back of the page. So what I did is I use a color pencil first, and then I pass the highlighter, and that's how I was able to not show that much the highlighter on the back and I still be able to use highlighter. So I hope this video is helpful. If it is, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I will see you then. Bye bye.